Call the meeting in order. Please stand and join me in the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, disclosure of actual or potential conflicts of interest. Anybody have anything on the agenda that would fit in that category? Okay, communication from the public.
I'm Logan McMillan, I'm a junior. I'm Maddie Warren, I'm a junior. I'm Raven Shaw, I'm a junior. I'm Claire Weber, and I'm a sophomore. And I just joined this class at the beginning of this semester, so I don't have a first semester summary. And this is our teacher assistant program experience. Description and purpose of the program. The teacher assistant program is to empower high school students with hands-on classroom experience, allowing them to explore the world of teaching while gaining valuable skills that will last a lifetime. By working alongside dedicated teachers, students will help develop leadership, communication, and educational techniques that are essential to making a lasting impact in the lives of others. The purpose of the teacher assistant program is to get more early exposure to the profession due to the teaching shortage in South Dakota. Our requirements for the teacher's assistant program. In the teacher's assistant program, requires you to stick to all the policies and procedures. The procedure would be a minimum of 30 hours, and this can be performed in a semester or in a year. A portfolio submission, which they give us a portfolio, and we fill it out and we submit it to the teacher's assistant program. And doing all of this, we receive a stipend. And in stipend, we're eligible if we do our 30 hours and submit the portfolio. It's a $500 stipend. The portfolio requirements. The portfolio serves as a comprehensive reflection of the teacher assistant experience throughout the program, showcasing the growth in learning. After every visit, we are required to write a paragraph summary of how that visit went, adding up to 30 or more. We also have to create a mini lesson plan that we can do in whichever classroom we're in, but we create it and then we write a mini lesson plan reflection. We also create a student-teacher interview that we send to the state and they look over that. The instructional support examples include photos, videos, and short descriptions. Assessment contributions like grading quizzes or student evaluations, and if any other experience. Another part of our requirements is to attend at least one conference. So last week we traveled to Sioux Falls and we attended the Ed Rising conference. And while we were there, we heard from two main speakers. One was the South Dakota Teacher of the Year, and the other one was a student at the University of Sioux Falls. And we also went to two different breakout sessions. And the first one taught us how mental trauma at a young age can affect how a student behaves in the classroom. Another one was how mental breaks in between classes can be effective for every grade, every age, every level. During my first semester in the teacher assistant program, it was full of so many fun and new experiences. I worked alongside two amazing teachers who taught me what it's really like to be working in a classroom. I worked with the 5th grade in Mr. Sherman's class, and then I worked in the 3rd, 4th grade math room. And I got to know so many kids and really experience what it's like to become a teacher. I did hands-on activities, graded many papers, took kids on bathroom breaks, taught lessons, and created so many new relationships with the kids. The most important thing I learned from my experience was in order to have a well-taught classroom, it is you really need to create a great relationship with your students and show up for them every day, no matter what. Overall, I really enjoyed my experience. In my first semester in the teacher assistant program, it was really fun. So many new things about being a teacher. I worked with the third and fourth grade math room and the preschool room. Ms. Taylor and Ms. Heather are amazing teachers, and I have so many techniques and the difference in the ways they teach. I help grade papers, teach lessons, and walking them to other classes. I built so many new relationships with other students and teachers as well. The most important thing I learned while teaching is you have to have a strong relationship to have a positive classroom environment. I am grateful for the opportunity to do this, and this will help me determine my future. Also, the teachers I worked with were so nice and always answering my questions. So I enjoyed going to the grade school and the experience I got. And then my experience in the teacher's assistant program, it was very helpful to seek the career path I want to follow. I got the opportunity to go to 2 classrooms this semester. The first one I went to was Ms. Heather's room, and that's the preschool. And during this hour, I arrived on their nap time, so we were just waking up, so I got to wake them up, and then we got to write their names. During this time, I developed a hands-on activity for them to do for the teacher assistant, and it worked really well. They had so much fun, and I just got to play with these kids. They're so nice, and they just made me happy. During the second half of the semester, I went to Mr. Sherman's room. That was a big jump going preschool to 5th grade, but it was really fun. Mr. Sherman has great classroom management. He's really good with his time. So I got to teach some of his lessons for him. I got to grade papers, and the most important thing about this experience for me was building a relationship with the students. All of them have so much different personalities, and it just made me eager each day to go and visit them. These are our photos from the experience. Yeah, we'd like to know if you guys have any questions. How many of you are possibly thinking of a career in education? So all of us.
Were there more in the class or just you 3 of those?
Us 3.
Yeah, it was introduced to us we were enrolled in a different class, and then Miss Fanning wanted to take on like another hour, and so she told us about it, so we were like, okay, we'll get out of our ag class, and then it got into this big thing, and we were
So for this semester, which teacher you're going to follow this semester?
I'm in preschool right now, and I'll go there from Robert and then Raymond and the 5th grade, Mr. Sherman's. He lives in the 3rd and 4th.
Yeah.
And I'll be in the 1st grade and 2nd grade classrooms.
And we all went through a rotation classroom, and so at the end, I think we're going to go to.
We'll all rotate to the one.
Yeah.
Is everybody interested in the elementary or
Yeah.
secondary?
I'm more interested in high school than little kids.
No, I'm interested in elementary.
One of the things that they all do great things with Maddie, bless her heart. Tell them what you had to do. I would have done
I had to clean worms.
it. She had to clean worms, so the kids could.
Mr. Sherman was like, they were doing experiments like environmental, like habitat, like, so they got these worms, and we opened the box and Mr. Sherman was like, they're alive? And I was like, yeah, and he's like, I'm not touching them. He's like, I will give you these bugs, but if you will clean them and get them ready, I'm not coming near them. So I had to do that, and he didn't. I just practically taught them a lesson. He was really good at that.
What do you tell your peers?
Your classmates.
Well, they recruited me to join the class.
Yeah,
They're all interested in it.
Yeah.
Most of them ask where we go. And
Yeah.
And I'm just like, well,
It's
we
right
just go to
after
the elementary and just teach the kids and their reactions. And yeah, we recruited clear.
How has this experience changed the way you view teaching in your own experiences in high school?
Well, for me, it's really overwhelming. Like, I guess it's
Yeah.
just crazy to me
It's
how you
a-
guys come every day and you guys are energetic to teach us and stuff like that. Like, it's hard. Like, there was days where I was just tired, but Mr. Sherwin, every day he just came energetic. He was excited to teach his kids and he kept them entertained. So, I mean, well, kind of inspiring, actually.
Yeah,
all the teachers that these girls worked with loved having them, and so when they came back the second semester, they all asked for them back in their classrooms, so, and the kids asked for them back as well.
My preschooler loves when you guys come down and talk about it a lot, so well done.
In the classroom, it's like, we took our STAR test, and I was working in the third, fourth grade room, and when I'm in there, we're doing that. And so we were doing like some long division, and I like kind of forgot my multiplication facts, like my division. And then we go to our STAR test, and it's like, oh, good thing I went back to the third.
Thank you, girls.
Thank you. Okay, I have a couple things for the agenda. It would be under item number 100. And it's going to be 100.2, to be resignation of Sherwin Savillano. And 100.3 would be Mark Bookman. Also, after, I'm going to do some juggling here, after the committee reports, I'm moving item number 101, executive session, to after our committee reports. We'll be going into executive session. Okay. All right, I need a motion then to approve the agenda. Motion by Dallas. Is there a second? Second by Kayla. Board discussion. Hearing none, all in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item number 93.0, motion to approve the consent agenda. Motion by Dallas, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Debbie. Board discussion. You have bills, anything? Look good? Okay, any other discussion? Hearing that, all in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. 94.0, administrative report. I just have a couple items. The Three Rivers is slowly progressing. The people that are dragging their feet is the state. Just, but anyway, hopefully they're good enough where there won't be enough fraud or things going on in Minnesota. Secondly, as you can see, Joe's not here. Lenee's been training under Joe, and she's doing this now. Lenee and I went and reconciled the bank statement, so she's getting involved in more and more and more. By the way, it came out zero, so. But she's working eventually to take over Joe's position when Joe leaves, so she's being trained, and then we've got Vicky who's training also, so. And that's all I have. Carol.
Good evening, everyone. Hey, first of all, with everything that's gone on in the community and with families and the community that's affected, we need to keep everyone in our thoughts and prayers. It's been kind of a difficult couple of weeks here, so just want to recognize that. And, sometimes we need to give extra grace when those situations happen, so. For the community communication and collaboration, I just want to continually remind everyone that in the South Dakota Constitution, we're mandated to provide public school systems that provide a free and quality education for all children. And I think Bennett County does a good job of that, thanks to the leadership of the board and the staff that we have. So the South Dakota 101st legislative session started last week on Tuesday. And there are a few education concerns that have come up. I shared one document, but some of the things that came out through the budget was holding the big three at 0 pay raises. So some of the counters are to return the sales tax from 4.2 to 4.5, and that would generate an estimated $105 million per year to help subsidize those salaries and increases. There's 12.8 million less allocated for education this year compared to last year. And just so that's hard to comprehend. Flat funding is still a cut because of inflation, insurance, other things come out. So we're asking individuals to do the same job really for less. So that is hopefully going to be reconciled, and they will come up with a little something for additional salaries. The alumni photos are back. I know Terry's going to talk about that too. So that was a big project that happened over Christmas. We're glad that's completed. Staff development, we have in-service January 5th, allowing teachers to come back and kind of regroup and get their classrooms ready and just get off to a good start. I heard very good responses from individuals that did make comments. Friday, we have another in-service that will focus on the important work of looking at power standards taught and building data analysis and really looking at the scope and sequence of the different content areas and introducing content to our kids and doing a better job. Literacy framework, we have had a meeting there. We are continuing to work with that. I think Amy has more on that. Getting the budget or the plan submitted, I believe in March is the deadline for that. Facilities and grounds, we've started weekly meetings with Design Art Group for the new bus barn and roofing projects. If you're within the schools, you've probably heard about leaks in different buildings. So we did some follow-up both on the middle school, high school, the Legion here and the AC. I think probably have those handled now and figured out what happened there. The new 35 passenger activity bus is still in Miller. It was getting there's some paint blemishes that were getting fixed, and then the heating system is really what was a concern. And then cameras were going to be installed because again, the bus driver in that vehicle cannot see what's going on in the bus. So we need to make sure that the other adults on the bus are helping to supervise. Foreman brought down several Diamond Coach passenger bus. I brought a flyer for those. We test drove one, has dual wheels and very nice. So looking at something like that for future transportation. We have the new handicap accessible bus, and we're trying to get the license figured out for that. And then we did the water quality testing over Christmas break, December 30th. We're waiting on the results for that. We're not anticipating anything, but again, there's grant money to help if we do need to replace maybe water fixtures, those kinds of things, the fountains. BCA language concerns from the current negotiated agreement have been updated and reviewed, and then will be brought forward when we start negotiations, hopefully in February here. And we're waiting for some school calendar recommendations from them as well. I know they're meeting on Friday and hopefully we'll have some communication after that. Any questions?
Thank you, Carol. Carrie?
Our January attendance is 89.2%, and we did start seeing a spike in illnesses at the end of December, and that's transitioning through January as well. We have had a lot of families call in with illnesses and doctors, so we're seeing that data come through. Our student happenings, we had a student from each grade that was named the Warrior of the Month, and these were nominated by staff members who demonstrated exceptional warrior pride. They were divided into their grade levels, and then we had an assembly and their names were drawn out, and we're proud to announce that our Warriors of the Month are Tay Rizzi, Isabella Christensen, Alex Santasteban, and Dixie Hadley-Shaw for each grade respectively. That was an awesome experience. Our class composites are back up on the walls, and they begin at the registrar's office, which was not how they anticipated doing it, but I think that that's really awesome because when you register at Benton County, you start there. So I feel that that was very apt. And then they start wrapping around the school. And so it's easy to follow. We have the last 2 years that are not up yet because we didn't have the frames. They were discontinued by the company that it was being used for, but I have found the same frame for another company. So we're going to be ordering those, and we're going to make sure that hereforth when we order, they're going to fit within the space, so there will be less work for our custodial staff to do. But I really appreciate Kenny and Aaron's work over the holiday break to get them back on display. They look wonderful. We did have our welcome back to school assembly on the first day, and that allowed for a review of our Warrior Pride expectations for the whole student body and to reveal those Warriors of the Month for each grade. During our next in-service, during our January 5th in-service, as a staff, we reviewed our CNA data, our goal processes, and our progress, and preparing for the upcoming semester. And at the next in-service, we're going to be working on diving into our data, including our assessment, reading, and math. So we'll have some feedback on that at our next meeting. And our study halls were reinstated for the second semester, and I want to thank Callie for the work she did in that. Let's get that going.
Questions? Thank you, Carrie. Again.
I included our attendance. We're really trying to focus on what we call kind of our bubble kids. When you look at attendance, you have really good attendance, then you have really poor attendance who are our middle. Those are, I guess, what we call our bubble. When we look at on Friday at the in-service, we're going to look at our data more in depth and see what we can do to just increase, besides just doing the Warrior Hour, but what else can we do? So the students last week spent some time in their Warrior Hour class looking at what their attendance was from the first semester and then making a goal for second semester and having that discussion on, you know, how many days can you miss and how many days should you miss and, you know, and why. And we know, you know, kids don't always have control over that, but sometimes there is some difference that they can make with looking at their attendance and having a goal and why it's good to have good attendance. When we look at our attendance, when we get graded by the state, it's supposed to be 90%. 90% of students must have 90% or better. And calculating that right now, we're at 62%. If we can really focus on some of those bubble kids, we should be able to get up to 71%. So we're not going to hit that 90%, but you know, if we can figure out some ways and then start out next year with what we did this semester, maybe we can get better attendance. There's just some testing, more STAR testing data on Friday. We're going to spend some time digging into our STAR math and reading, looking at what we can do for those and what will make those better. Our Academics team was announced this last week, and so they're starting to practice, and they will be traveling to competitions starting at the end of February, and then almost every Wednesday in March they are gone for Academics. So which is exciting. It's another way our kids can show their brain power. That is all that I have.
Questions? Thank you, Michaela. Melissa?
Looking at our attendance, we had 19 students that had perfect attendance. Digging a little deeper, we had 108 students, so that's more than half are at the 94% or better. We handed out second quarter attendance awards for the perfect attendance and the 94. And right now, currently, we are at 93.9%. So our goal is 94, so we're right there. We'll just keep giving out those attendance awards and that seems to be working. We did star reading. 89 of 161 students scored at or above the district benchmark. So from the beginning of the year till now, that's an increase of 3%. So we're going forward, but if you keep looking at the trends, from winter to the end of the year is where we decrease. So we really got to focus on what are we going to do this next semester to keep those scores up. In math, the same thing. We've made an increase from 92 students. And so this put us really high. We had an increase of 37% from the beginning of the year till now. So our math scores really increased. So we're going to kind of talk about what we've been doing that really helped boost those scores up on Friday. Again, the trend again is from winter to the end of the year, we'll see a decrease. So we'll try to talk about some strategies that are effective and working and try to keep those in place. Student activities, we had a kindergarten parent breakfast on Thursday, and second grade parent breakfast is scheduled for February 5th. We're going to start planning a school-wide party. The kids use their Pride Bucks, and when they donate to the Pride Buck, we call it just a little thermometer, and when they fill that up, then we're going to do a school-wide party, and the team decided that we're going to do an obstacle course. And so we'll leave it up all week, and the classes can go in and experience the obstacle course. So little school-wide celebration for good positive behavior. And I'm planning on attending the job fair in Aberdeen on February 10th.
Questions? Thanks, Melissa. Amy?
I attended the director's literacy that the state is they're doing once a month check-ins, and they put us into some breakout sessions, and I'm just happy to say we're doing more than most. So we had a plan in place. A lot of people haven't even started anything yet. So I was like, hey, we are doing something right. We have had several teachers sign up for the literacy courses, which we've been promoting, and through the state, they're free. We also are paying for their credit if they want to get credit, and we're paying for their time, which goes to the grant. So it's good to see that we're taking advantage of that. And then basically our January 23rd in-service is going to look at our power standards and how we can keep a consistent process in place. That's been hard over the last few years. So we've had a lot of people come in and do different things and nothing stayed consistent. We need some consistency for our staff and our students. So that's going to be a good portion of our day on the 23rd. So you're welcome to join us.
Questions? Thanks, Amy. Lainey?
Middle school boys basketball has the 23 boys out, grades 6, 7, 8. Their first game is Thursday, starts at 4 o'clock versus Phillip. And they have our home tournament on Saturday, just the 18 tournament. It's a 5-team round robin at the Holistic Warrior Center. The boys' middle school season doesn't last very long, but they get 10 regular season games and 2 tournaments. So they cram a lot of playing time into this little season. So so far, everything's been going really well there for the boys. High school girls basketball, they came away with the West River Tournament Championship on Saturday night in Rapid. They played Hot Springs in the first round, and they beat Hot Springs 60-36. Beat Upton, Wyoming in the second round, 68-25. And then the championship game, they played New Waterwood and beat them 46-16. The season's going well for the girls, I feel like, and we play Todd County on Thursday night, starting at 5 o'clock. And that'll be 2 quarters of C, and then followed by JV and varsity. One change to the girls' schedule is that the girls are not going to the Blizzard Buster Classic in Irene on Saturday. Their AD had a little mishap with contracts, and we had already planned not to go back next year, and so we were given the opportunity to get out of that. And I had an opportunity to fill that game with another A school, and I kind of left it up to the coaches, and they decided to not go to Irene and play the A school. The boys, however, are still going to go to Irene on the 31st. The draft for that has not come out yet. The boys just finished the Jones County tournament, the high school boys. Last week on Tuesday, they had a really rough game. They played White River, took a tough loss by 40. Regrouped, came back and played White River again on Thursday and lost by 5 in double overtime, like 87-92. So really worked hard, super impressive. You know, the boys did good. Second round, they had a really good win against Phillip. It was 52-19. And then Saturday, they played for 5th and 6th place versus Kadoka and lost 52-69. So still a pretty close game with Kadoka. The boys are working really hard, and I'm impressed with the coaching strategies being used right now within practices and stuff that are being used to make sure the boys improve each day and each game. And that really showed, you know, just how we can switch things up just from Tuesday to Thursday, and by being beat by 40 and go play the same team and just, you know, have double overtime, which is wild. High school wrestling is going well for both the boys and girls. Both of them have just about 5 meets left before we go to postseason wrestling. The boys meet in Phillip was canceled on this last Saturday because of the wind. So they didn't wrestle at all this weekend. The girls traveled to Gettysburg. We have a few injuries that have sidelined a few kids in wrestling, so our numbers team-wise are down. But other than that, the season is going strong. We have a couple kids rated in the state right now, so they can need to finish the season strong. I just was at practice tonight, and they were working hard. So Callie, Jordan and I are working to put together the academic teams to submit to the state. Any one of our teams with an academic GPA of 3.1 or higher can be recognized by the South Dakota High School Athletic Association. And those will be by January 31st. So we'll submit football and volleyball. Any season that's over now, Callie and I will submit and hopefully get the kids recognized for that. And my last thing is more of like a problem solving. If you guys have any ideas for ticket takers. We've got 10 home basketball games left, and only ticket takers for 3 of them. You know, I know we had talked about it at a meeting. We put it out for, you know, staff. We kind of asked them, and a couple did. You know, I think we got 3 of those. You know, some staff kind of signed up to take it. I don't know if you guys have any suggestions or any ways. I mean, what happens if we don't have anybody to take tickets?
How have you done it in the past? Or how's it been done in the past?
Well, in the past, it's kind of been like parent boosters and things like that, which is not, I mean, we don't have that anymore. There's not a school affiliated parent booster anymore. You know, we have a booster club, but it's not school affiliated. It wasn't.
Never has been. It's always been a parent.
And I don't know.
It was Booster Club. It was a big.
Yeah.
No, it's,
You know, we
Mary,
started
the one that did.
music boosters. I don't know what Larry did last year, if it was staff. I know a couple of years ago, it was required of staff to sign up for a booster.
How long have they been doing It's not like
2 years ago.
that was.
Yeah, that's what we said at the beginning.
Not since I've been here.
3 years ago.
Yeah.
Take that back. It's been 3 years.
Is there any incentive given?
See, that's what I was wondering too, like, and I don't have, you know, like, I was thinking like the booster club, I don't,
It's not a fund.
and then I had asked, you know, Lene, like, where does that money go? And it's,
I mean, it's up to them what they decide, like, I mean, it goes into their trust and agency account, but they decide how to use it.
the ticket money. it
Oh,
just
the
goes to
ticket money.
trust.
The ticket money, yeah, it goes in the general fund.
So I didn't know, like, I mean, could we do like a partnership with the booster club and be like, hey, everyone that's in the booster club, like, you know, at the end of the year, like, get 3% of the ticket sales. I don't know. I just don't know, you know, every staff member, if you sign up for 3 games, you get a PC sweater. I don't know. I just don't know. Or do we come down to the point where we don't have ticket takers and everyone gets in free? I don't know. I don't know.
It would boost attendance at games.
Yeah.
Yeah. One night I did not have anybody, and high school wrestling had, girls wrestling had concessions, and, Katie Hunter, bless her heart, told a parent, and she was like, Lainey has no one to take tickets, please go take tickets for her. And they had a parent in there, and they did, they went side down and took tickets. So, I don't know. I don't know. So we have Thursday and Friday covered. But other than that, there's one more game for the whole rest of the year covered.
Just a thought, where we have at the door when people come in, like, I don't take tickets because then I can't see the game. We can move the location of the ticket takers, like inside the door, so they could still watch the game and take tickets, kind of like what Philip does. It's just an idea.
Can't they put the game on the TV?
It is, it always is on the TV there, yeah.
It's easier to watch it on your phone because you can't hear it.
And that TV is very small.
Yeah, I just remember when I used to
I
watch it on your phone.
That would be an option. So like Philip does. Not 2 small desks so far. But then you would have to have more people. So let's see what comes out. We're not taking it. And have it really comfortable. So.
We ran into this when I was in the booster dinosaurs ago, but I had called Mandy Wenzel and Philip, and I think it's for every 4 games a parent takes tickets out, they give them a free activity ticket. I'd have to clarify because that was a while ago, but I think that's what they did.
Other schools don't give out activity tickets unless you sign up too. There's always been a perk here that, you know, staff members just get one.
I guess I just, you know, what do I do with each one of these, is my question, yeah. Until we come up with an alternative. plan. There's, I'm sure Sandy was there, yeah.
Sandy.
Yeah, yeah.
There's someone in the, a group in the community, like chart or something like that.
Well, that's what I'm wondering, like, but I'm wondering, like, can we make it, you know, like, if we get charged, but I mean, are they expected to do it for free? Are they, you know, like, just to donate their time, are they, I don't know how that works, like. And I know it's a lot to ask too, because I'm given, I've been a teacher before too, so I know want to sign up, they don't want to, we can't make them. I mean, we could, but. Or you put that in with the consent, I mean, if you're running concessions, maybe ask her, I don't know.
Ask again through the sub Friday. I'll see some encouraging things.
And if somebody signed up,
If you don't find some for a boys game, let me know. I can service, because I can sure would not mind doing boys game. So, same.
Yeah, Thursday, Friday covered if you want to.
yeah, Thursday and Friday, I have it covered, and then, girls basketball with Jones County on Saturday, the 31st.
So we got some time to think about it. If I do it, figure it out. Okay.
So if you come up with any great ideas to help me kind of solve that issue, let me know. Brainstorm a little bit. Good one's all I have.
Questions? Thank you, Lee. You have Deputy Evans's report on your thing. Any questions from there? Lenny, you have anything? Okay. I need a motion to go into executive session. Motion by Taylor, is there a second? Second by Eddie. Board discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye. Aye. Pose same sign. Motion carried. executive session. Item number 95.0, motion to offer Carol Grover superintendent contract for the 26-27 school year. So, motion by Dallas, is there a second? Second by Kayla. Board discussion. Hearing none, all in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye. Aye, pose same sign. Motion carries. Item number 96.0, motion to surplus the following. 2 MacBooks not working, 1 access point too old to use, 1 PC too old to repair, and 1 Chromebook not working. Motion by Kayla, do I have a second? Second by Abby. Board discussion. Hearing none, all in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye. Aye, pose same sign. Motion carries. Item number 97.0, motion to offer the following contract for the 25-26 school year. Nate Livermont, Little Warriors basketball, $800. Motion by Kayla, do I have a second? Second by Abby. Board discussion. Hearing none, all in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item number 98.0, motion to approve supplemental budget resolution number 98.026 in the amount of $1,700. Motion by Dallas. Do I have a second? Who seconded it? Abby second. Board discussion. Hearing none, all in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye. Aye, opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item number 99.0, motion to approve the following annual maintenance contracts with Rasmussen Mechanical. Elementary school, $15,024. Middle school, high school, $15,154. Legion, $5,562. Motion by Dallas. Do I have a second? Second by Kayla. Board discussion. Hearing none, all in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye. Aye, pose same sign. Motion carries. Okay, just a second, I gotta sign a few things here. Okay, item number 100, I'm sorry. Motion to accept the following resignations effective May 22nd. Abhara Maloons, band instructor, Sherwin Sablano, and Mark Bookman. Motion by Kayla. Do I have a second? Second by Abby. Board discussion. Hearing none, all in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. I need a motion to adjourn. Motion by Kayla, is there a second? Second by Abby. Board discussion. Hearing none, all in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. We are at adjourn at 6:06.